What's up, everybody? Jester here. We're back in the long dark. There it is. If it ever comes up, and it did. Tonight we're going to be finishing up in Timberwolf Mountain, and we're going to try to get our butt over to PV, where we're going to set. Oh, this is the wrong save. Well, that happens. Hang on a second. We got to go back to the regional base save because we ended on the other one. There we go. And here we are. We got a lot of ground to cover tonight. We got a couple of trips to make up back to Summit, and we've still got some other things to loot. Yeah, we're gonna be pretty busy here. Let's just take a quick inventory of everything because I've kind of forgotten. It's been a couple of days. Plenty of bear meat. Got a little bit of wolf meat. Why is it bringing up controller? Interesting. Got wolvies over there, and very early in the day. What do we have in our inventory here? Have we sorted? That's the big thing. And it looks like we have sorted stuff out. Got a couple of MREs here, and we'll pick up a liter of water and let's get out of here. Let's go up north. We know the bear is down, so this would make sense, and the other bear is down too. It makes better sense for us to get the hell up there and try to get these trips done so that we don't have to deal with that bear up there anymore. But like I said, there is lots and lots still left to loot. Lots of things to look at here in this region. One second, actually. There we go. All right, we're walking. And we're walking. How is everybody doing tonight? I was going to stream last night, but Puppy got a little bit sick and she was throwing up, and didn't feel like it'd be appropriate for her to be gagging in the back of the stream. So we decided against it. Nothing serious. She just overate. Too quickly, I should say, and she decided to get a little ill. She's got her ball now, and she this dog and her ball, I swear. She'll walk around like it's a ball gag. Now, on this particular trip up, we may have to we might have to stop below that second rope, or we could have gone the other way, honestly, which we might do next time. We may drop back down and drop a rope so that we can get up here a different way, because we do have to go that direction. Yeah, it is what it is. Sorry, I keep clicking out there. But yeah, hopefully we have good luck like we've had thus far. What up, Patea? I was just explaining how I wanted to get this over with last night, but I couldn't because the dog ate way too fast, and she was kind of chucking everywhere, if you will. But she's good now. She's got a ball. She'll be good for a couple hours with that ball. But we're going to head back up to Summit. I want to try to get up there as quickly as we can for all trips involved so that we can loot the other stuff out and then move on. Our gear is excellent at this point. But it is a bit of a stride up there, so we got good clear weather, nice warm day. Or at least we're warm. So we're gonna roll with it. Everything's okay, yeah. Just wanted to make sure everything was turned on. Yeah, we got to come back through. Let's not weight ourselves down. We may grab a couple of rabbit pelts so we can repair our rabbit gear. And then we're probably just heading straight to summit. We can do this the easier way. It's still a double rope climb, but we won't have to necessarily go through. God, that's nerve-wracking. Have to go through that cave this time. We'll go the long way around, which isn't that difficult. It's just a double rope climb. But my issue is that we may need to rest. And I think there's a cave down the way over near the waterfall. I think there's a cave that we can hop in and rest a little bit for that third rope climb. It would only be a 2 rope climbs if we go through the cave, which I guess we could do. And then at some point, we would need to bring back another rope to drop down for the other way up, if you will, which we could do coming back from Blackrock, because there is a way to get in up above that rope from Blackrock, but we're not really ready to do Blackrock anytime soon. We haven't collected enough materials to actually make it worth our trip over there. We want to go and get all the ammo in the world, and then we're mostly going to focus on rifle ammo when the time comes. At some point, I wouldn't hate getting back over to Ash real quick to pick up that coal, because that's pretty good fuel. We don't really need it, but look. Like I said in the video I just put out today, it's better to have something and not need it than need it and not have it. But we're going to try to get through all of this tonight, and then, yeah, we'll see where the weekend goes. I really want to play Titanfall. Damn it. Or maybe we start in on, like, Resident Evil or something. Like, that's good nostalgia for me. Knights of the Old Republic is a game I picked up. It was literally like $2.50. I can't even tell you how many hours I played that game when it was new on original Xbox. Real surprise ending, too. Now, Knights 2, which I also picked up for $2.50, not as good a game, but still pretty okay. Up we go. All right, the weather's starting to turn here. Ah, nice. That's what you know what? That's what this entire journey started on, was a Kindle Fire. Way back when they were pretty much brand new out there. I was playing a mobile app game called Drag Racing. Had a really good community, had quite a few friends on there, and I was playing on a phone to start with, and I'm like, well, I kind of want to go get a Kindle, and I ended up getting it for Christmas one year. So I was able to connect and see the game a little bit better on the bigger screen, and that's kind of what got me started down this road of, okay, we're a gamer. We've always been a gamer. You know, way back in the day when PS1 was brand new and Resident Evil was brand new, that game really got my goat because I couldn't beat it. It took me almost 2 years to figure out one of the final puzzles, which irritated the shit out of me, but I mean, what are you gonna do, right? What can you do? Oh wow, this is considered indoors. Nice. But yeah, I feel like maybe doing some nostalgic stuff somewhere down the road here. Which is why I picked them up. I don't have to stream them. I guess we'll see if anybody's interested in watching, but I'm interested in playing them. I think they're great games. They were great games. It's a real tale of time. I'm kind of interested to see how the graphics and stuff look compared to how they looked to us back then. But Knights of the Old Republic was, at the time, one of the greatest games ever made. You know what we could do? I don't think it's gonna blizzard. But what we could do here is come down the way a little bit and see if that bear is still spawned and dead, and maybe we can grab a little bit of his meat. If not, we may just press on. It's not like I can get through here blindfolded or anything, but getting through this region's not that difficult. And we did put a bullet in that bear, so he is definitely not available right now. At least he better not be. They better not pull that shit where he starts spawning the day after you kill him. If we were going to stay here long term, that'd be great to get our food stores and stuff, you know, all stocked up, but would kind of suck otherwise. Yeah, I spent a fair portion of the day today doing a Schedule 1 video, which I think came out pretty alright. Oh, shit. We went too early. We went and turned too early. We gotta go around that corner. My bad. Newsflash, we were already auto-walking. But yeah, my feed here lately has just been destroyed with bad information on Schedule 1. Videos that are absolutely intended to clickbait. Make $200,000 a day. It's like, that's not even possible, bro. You can't possibly keep it stocked. And videos are so easily manipulated on that game that I just had to do it. Anybody who's been around me long enough knows that I don't deal with that kind of crap. It's clickbait, and no thank you. I'd rather be honest. Even if I never become as popular, I'm never going to clickbait people. Ever. I just kind of have a passion for gaming, and I like to share, and it drives me nuts when somebody gets 1 million views on some bullshit that doesn't work, that it's just wrong information. And then you see in the comments, oh my God, I'm gonna have to try this. And then I guarantee you they try it and it doesn't work right. Well, I didn't go after anybody in particular. I was very general about it this time. I also had another idea for a video. And stop me if you think it's a bad idea, because it probably is. But the idea is that I'm going to show maybe a final No Man's Sky video on why I'm bowing out. And again, being critical but fair, hitting high points and good stuff as well as bad stuff, and why I finally had enough. Me personally, I think it's a worthy video to be made. A good example of it would be, damn, the bears already despawned after like 2 days. That sucks. There's our rope to get up. So like going back in time, say for like, when they put in derelicts and and say, hey, this was a really, really good idea. And I think it had a lot of potential. And, you know, it was really neat to see something new dungeon-esque in the game. However, this is why it didn't work out, at least for me. And that's because it's very monotonous and it's very repetitive and it's just not that much fun. And it takes, honestly, longer to get done than you would probably want for it to take to get done. As far as, you know, being able to upgrade your freighter and that kind of stuff. And then talk about like squadrons to where, hey, this could have been something really, really cool that people would have really enjoyed. And yet the squad, they don't do anything. It's literally just a time waste. They don't fight. You can't command them in any way. It's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. You know, and dreadnoughts, how pretty those are, and how that could have been, you know, the new hotness. And yet, stats-wise, it's not even as good as a system freighter. Like, just talk about the things and try not to be overtly negative about it, but be fairly negative about it. Like, that's kind of my deal with it. Maybe what we should do here is go down and check out Waterfall Cave first. Because we're probably going to have to rest. That's a really long climb. I don't know. Basically, yeah. And just kind of point out, like, look, I'm not going to be like, look, and then you add on top of that the bugginess of the game and the lack of optimizations and things. It's why the game's dead to me. When you've got a game like this, okay, Long Dark, to where the developers listen to the fucking community. That first implementation of the Cougar, very few people were positively reviewing that implementation. And Hinterland heard that, and they listened, and they said, you know what, we'll pull it back. It's not what you guys wanted. We'll work on it. And it took them a few months, and they came out with another system, which is, granted, better. I still think it's not a very good implementation, considering it can kill you at 30 days, but there's really no hope at 30 days you can kill it. But at least they listened and tried to do something better for the community and for the game. And that's where I think the differences in styles for developers really comes in. Well, I'm not going to straight call that out. Sean Murray's addictions are not my issue. It just stands to reason that the game is not nearly as good as what people make it out to be. And you know how I've never stood for that. That's not... I believe in truth and honesty, and, you know, when something's good, I'm more than happy to say it's good. But when it's not good, it's just as much right to call it bad. You know, if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. There ain't a damn thing in here this time. Eh. All right, let's walk over here and see if there's any birch, which there might be. And then we can probably just take this rope over here up if it's there. I think it's there. I think that one's preloaded on that that climbing rock or the attachment rock. But yeah, I don't know. The idea kind of came to me and I'm like, I'll consider it. I really don't even want to log back into No Man's Sky. Like, I'm just done. The community is absolutely toxic for the most part. There are some good apples out there, but for the most part, the community is just toxic and buys everything that everybody says. And I will never conform to that. I sort of do. I will, we're going to be experimenting with that kind of stuff probably in Coastal when we get that far. I think my plan right now is to go to PV, get very settled in, loot PV, and then probably head directly back to Mountain Town. Loot Mountain Town, get the tower all fixed up. Well, we know where that's at. And then, yeah, I guess we'll just have to see from there. There's a wolf over there. Let's get the gun up and ready just in case he sniffs us. We have meat on us, so he may sniff us a little bit. Yeah, we're going to experiment with a lot of the new stuff as we go into this playthrough, but right now we're kind of doing it standard-ish. And I do say ish because, you know, there is, yeah, that one doesn't have a rope. That would be how we get up here the easy way. Then this rope would put us right at the backside of the cave. Yeah, I know, and that's why we're finding the 10 kilo bags of salt, from what I understand. But I don't think we're going to really mess with that too much until we kind of get a little further in the game. All right, we're a little bit tired here. We're going to have to rest in that cave below the final rope. But that's okay. Once we get all the regions explored and all that kind of stuff, we'll be able to really focus in on some of that newer stuff and the things you can do and the trader and that kind of thing. I'm kind of putting that off for the time being, though. I kind of want to get very established and get my loot and stuff all set up. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's just, it's hard to break old habits, you know? We've already broken a ton of my habits in this run. I can't be expected to change everything in one go. Did we even come in here last time? Yes. All right. Have a little drink. See if we can get enough back that we can get up the rope. That might get us up the rope. That's a long rope. That's my problem here. And I don't think we have any way of stimming or energy drinking. So we may have to sleep an hour or two on the ledge, which is kind of risky, but we should be fine. Hopefully we make it up this thing without any problems. We'll see what we can carry, and then we'll head down. Probably rest up fully, and then we'll head down. That way we get all our carry capacity. But yeah, I don't even know what got into me this morning. I just decided it's a Schedule 1 kind of day, and I just started recording. And I got it done fairly quickly. So that's out there in the ether now. Ooh, this is going to be close. We'll just catch a little sleep, make sure we get up this damn rope. I don't feel like falling and dying right now. Probably would have made it, but let's not take any unnecessary chances, right? All right, on to Summit. And then we'll just sleep here for a night, get our full carry capacity back, and then we'll head down in the morning. By the time we get there, it'll be time to put down to bedroll and we'll go. Probably still going to have to make one more trip to get everything down. And then we can go out and start looting up the last of the containers. I think we still have 2 more areas where we can find containers. We got the engine. Would have swore I heard a wolf. It's down near Chasm Cave. We've got the engine, and then there's one other one I think up further, but we'll get there when we get there. We still have meat up here. Now see, that's the rope we could take and make that a little easier on us, but it'd still be a triple rope climb to get up here. So the way we went's probably the right way. Good Lord, everything's sticking right now. Something doesn't feel right. Yeah, something certainly does not feel correct here. I don't know what's going on. Is this thing still showing as broken? Hot garbage, man. That's hot garbage. All right, let's sleep like 9 hours. Let's pick up a load of shit and let's head down. something is... What is going on? I don't know if you guys... Right there, like, it's locking the screen. Right? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I have never seen it do that before. We may need to reset, restart. To do that, we would want to sleep, though. All right, well, the good news here is we're not heavy yet. We're about to be. And it's not going to allow me to get to that stuff. What is happening here? Yeah, that's the plan. It dropped it through this, and now I can't get back to everything, so I guess that's fine. Not that we need any of that stuff. It's fine. We're not even that heavy, so we can probably get down here in one go. All right, so is there anything else that we must have here from Summit? Because I think we're just going to call it good and head on down. We know we looted all the containers. We don't need those. We certainly don't need those. Yeah, it's still screwed. I just looked at it. All right, we emptied all of that. That's empty. The weather's kind of taking a shit turn here. I don't know if we really want to go right now. That looks pretty blizzardy to me. So I think what we'll do is hang out. We got plenty of food and stuff. I'm not too concerned about that. Just drink a thing of maple syrup. You'd think that would give you some hydration as well. But this is looking a little blizzardy for my liking. Let's play it fairly safe. And even in just the moment or two that I said it looked blizzardy, it just got very much even more blizzardy. That's about to go blizzard, so let's not. Look at that shit. I didn't even know that was possible here. We are now clipped into that damn thing. All right, we're going to be extra heavy now. Good enough, though. Yeah, this one right over here. Ruined. That's such bullshit. It couldn't be ruined to the point where you couldn't open it. I don't get that at all. The game let me... something very odd is happening here. And I'm glad we didn't head out, because this ain't looking promising. Something very weird's going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop back here. We're going to take a 1 hour nap. And we're going to restart the game, and then we'll go from there. That way we get a save. It's the only way to really get a save is to sleep. All right, let's see if this fixes that. We are quite heavy. We got a lot of daytime here. It doesn't take very long to get down from here. So let's just see about passing some time and see what the weather wants to do. 'Cause I don't want to go in this fog. Start with a couple hours. If it clears off, we're heading. All right. It cleared off real nice. Make sure we got all of this. All right, we are leaving Summit and probably never ever coming back. No offense, but we don't need to. We still need to make a trip up to that cave to pick up all that loot that we left up there from those containers. Seeing shadows, but I don't see... Oh, they're circling the guy, the dead guy. Okay. I thought maybe there was a dead animal over there or something. All right, down we go. Lots of loots to still be had here in Timberwolf, and it's been very fruitful here. Extremely fruitful. We are very much quite slow. That's okay, though. Okay, hang on. I think we got to go back up here. I don't want to get stuck going down the wrong spot. But I mean, obviously, we're going to be leaving a boatload of stuff over here. But we do, like I said, want to get it all looted out. That would be tits. We got this whole area up here that we still have to come and look at. And there, I can't remember where all of the things are at, but we'll find it because we're going to explore the whole fucking area, so. You son of a bitch. Hey, you're going down an incline, but your wrist is sprained. It's the stupidest thing ever. It would be your ankle that would turn to spaghetti. Not your wrist. Wrist might get strained when you're climbing a rope. All right, off we go. Gonna take us a little bit to get home because we are quite heavy, but I think we're in the wind at this point. Yeah, wind is blowing right in our face. We could have chose to have that 20% better, but instead we decided to go with some different skills that we've never used before, or different perks that we've never used before. The one with the Rested Mind is excellent. No cabin fever risk at all this run, ever. We can live inside for as long as we want. And I like it. It's really stupid. There's no wind that you can see that's blowing through the trees or anything, and yet they're saying we're in the wind. Because we're not that tired. We wouldn't be walking this slow. What's up, Ease? How you doing tonight? Just to catch you up, we just summited again. We picked up everything on this trip, which is why we're so slow. We won't have to go back up to Summit tonight. We do have some other places we've got to go, grab some things, and bring home, though. And that may take a couple of trips, actually. Because we're going to have to negotiate a rope both up and down twice. Once again, we're going to do this really slow crouch walk down the hill. Almost home. Oh, that's a deer. Okay. We are horrifically overloaded right now. We picked everything up. So we didn't have to. We could have made a third trip, but I decided to just make one slower trip versus 2 trips. That way we can get in and out of here a little bit quicker. 'Cause I'm not leaving until we got everything looted. So maybe that'll be our next step. We will head over to near Chasm Cave, and we'll try to loot the engine, which is a couple more of those containers. Yeah, you know, in one aspect, I feel for them, because that's got to be difficult to keep track of everybody's subscriptions and notifications going out. But on another hand, that's why they have those options, is so that you can get your notifications quickly. So I don't know. We're not too far in tonight, though. We've only been going about 45 minutes. And mostly I'm streaming tonight to keep myself awake. I'm trying to get back on some semblance of a reasonable sleep schedule. Damn it, is that a Timberwolf? Are they back already? They're back. Time to break some more morale, boys. The game's still doing it, Patea. I don't know why. It's lagging as soon as I do anything. I pick up anything and then it's lagging out. Like locking, and then it opens up. And we just did that save, so I don't know why it would be doing that. Now the question is there 2 or is there more? Gonna have to deal with them either way. We gotta put a bullet in each one. That Timby was digging. I don't know if I've ever seen him do that before. I hear ya. Yeah, it's just a group of 2. Come at me, bro. Oh, shit. We're in a bad spot here. All right, we got him. Got him. All right, we're good. The morale isn't broken, but they're running off to die now. So we got to keep an eye out that they don't come back on us. But they're both bleeding out. But yeah, you can see the morale meter there at the bottom. They're not out of morale. But they shouldn't come back at us because we took care of them. I got to be careful and mindful here of the other wolves that are just around the corner there. But I'd say within the next couple of minutes, they're going to be dead anyway, so... Sucks to suck, you know? I don't think they're coming back at us. There are more wolves around that corner. We don't have any meat on us, though, so that should be fine. Did the Timberwolves scare off the other wolves, so they only spawn in when the Timbies aren't there? Wow. That makes this area not as viable as I thought it was going to be, honestly. I thought we'd be able to hang here for days and weeks. But I don't really feel like wasting a shit ton of ammo on these Timbies. There's no benefit to us. Patay and I have talked about this a lot. I really feel like Timberwolves should have their own separate crafting stuff. That's not a wolf pelt. It just becomes a wolf pelt, but it's a Timberwolf pelt. You should be able to make something else. Maybe Timberwolf long johns or something. A Timberwolf sweater. But no, we don't get that. Instead, we get a cougar that's too difficult to defeat way too early. One of these nights, we're going to go back to main save, and all we're going to do is hunt and fish until the cougar fucking shows up, and we're going to take the cougar on that main save. I'm going to grab the rifle, put on the ballistic vest, and we're going to go lay the smack down on that motherfucker. No doubt. You know, the other thing I haven't seen in this region is the moose spawn. All right, we're good. Let's get ourselves lightened up here a little bit. The fuck is he? You guys hear that? They're here. Damn it, desk pop. Damn it. Here they come. Did they just spawn another one? There he is. He's right there. Boy, it made it sound like he was right next to me. That typically the sound design in this game is really good, but between what they've done with this now and the Cougar, I can't say that anymore. Here they come. So what I'm going to do is try to kite them up here a little bit. And that way when they die, we can get free meals. We know they're bleeding out. You hear how loud that shit is? They're right here. They're right on my doorstep. One in his ass. Just want to get my shit unloaded, assholes. All right, the way he's running off, we hit him. Oops. Yep, their spirit's broken now. I was trying to keep them up here close where they would just go and die, but doesn't look like we worked out that way. But at least they're not gonna fuck with us anymore. That's good. All right, let's go put... Here, let's just go ahead and drop these two. Go put this other shit inside the cabinet. No more desk pops. Oh, fuck. We're not going to even be able to store much of anything in those cabinets, man. We've got too much loot. I can't tell if that's a Timby or if that's just a regular wolf. What is going on? It's not selecting and it's acting like the controllers. Hang on. Yes. Maybe that's what's going on. It's trying to let me... Have they done something with the controller stuff? Because now it's working fine. I've never played this game with a controller. Not a single day have I ever played this with a controller, and it's always been plugged in. And now today it's coming up and saying, hey, we're detecting your controller, and that is the strangest shit ever. I'd say we've got more than enough fuel for a while. All right, we're gonna drop a bunch of shit over here too. Imagine that being the cause of the problem, Patea. Like, you saw what was happening up there at Summit. That was freaking wild. I've never had the game do that to me before. So weird. All right, that's about as light as we're gonna get, considering our gear and stuff. It gives us 13 kilos of spare carry weight right now. We got more than that up in that cave, though. wait a damn minute here. We didn't have... Okay, I'm so confused. All right, so my gut tells me we need to get moving on down the road first thing in the morning to try to get around that bear, because the bear is probably going to be back within a day or two. That's just what my gut's telling me. We're not super tired right now, but how are my tracks still here, but theirs aren't? I can't even tell if I hit this son of a bitch over here. Whatever, it broke their... Oh, there he is. He's dead over here. I'm not worried about the meat and guts and stuff, but we might take the pelt just to have extra over here. I mean, obviously, we're wearing double wolf coat. At some point, I wouldn't hate getting a double bear coat, but not while we're looting. Not until we're just freely moving about. Did you die? Are those snares? No. Free wood, though. Oh, shit. Here we go with this targeting shit again. This day started with a shitty weather pattern. Now it's going to end with a shitty weather pattern. That's okay. We know where we're at. We're right here at the lake. Crystal Lake. Another thing we haven't done yet here is we haven't checked the end of this pier. A lot of times, well, not a lot of times, but sometimes you can find knives and hatchets and stuff in the wood. Doesn't look like it today, but I have found them in these type of situations before here at Mystery Lake, certainly. And we've already looted all of this. Yeah. I mean, if the bear comes back up, we'll probably just come back over here. We'll wait to take him, and we'll do that fishing hut trick. Let's see, here's my pissed off point. They just call that a wolf pelt. And yet the Timberwolves are completely different. I think that's silly. I really wish they would look at that. What do I know, though, right? Lots of birch, lots of maple. Our bow and arrows is in there. We just have so much problems, man. We have too much shit. And no storage. And that's the problem with this area. There's just not enough room here. Plain and simple, not enough room. All right, let's drink and we'll pass a few hours and see if we can get ourselves tired. We'll sleep and then we'll head out and we'll investigate, see if the bear's there. If not, then we'll go down and pick up the engine. We need to, did we keep one hacksaw on us? We did indeed. Okay. Weather's not getting any better. don't like traveling in the dark, so we will pass on that. Thank you very much. I mean, half of me thinks we should just stay here and, you know, live out our dreams and get as much shit done as we can, but that's not advancing our game that much. This place shouldn't be warm. There's a hole in the fucking ceiling. There's a hole in the door. This is rickety as shit. No actual interior location here at all. Let's get 9 hours sleep. That'll get us pretty close to morning. And then we can go find out what the weather looks like. Drink a couple of sodas. Seems like a morning thing to do. We've got plenty. Let's go and see if that bear is back up or not. Hopefully not. I'd like to get around there and let's go get these 2 containers that are down this way. And if we're not super heavy on the way back, we'll hit up this cave that's just around the corner from those first containers we got. But we'll have to wait and see how the day plays out. Where's your ball, baby? Go get your ball. All I gotta do is give that dog a ball and she's entertained for hours. Good girl. Good girl. All right, we're going to be a little bit cautious here. I don't think the bear would be back up. It's usually 20 or 30 days before they respawn, but who knows? Wildlife refresh and all. You never know. I don't see a threat. That's good. Did we check the bear cave yet? Let's just go over here and look in the bear cave real quick as we're heading down. The cave we're going to go to is back over that way. That's potentially after we loot out the containers down here near Chasm Cave. Ease, you'll be happy to know I took your advice and I went ahead and made the Schedule 1 video today. I finally had enough of seeing bullshit clickbait that I'm like, you know what, I just put my nose down and made a video on it today. I hate creators that clickbait their people or clickbait videos. I will never ever do that. I find it to be extremely dishonest, and I don't do this for money. I mean, look, if I make a few dollars here and there, that's great. But I don't do it for money. I do it because I like sharing my experiences and trying to help people. Like, honestly, that's the truth. Because I know, like, right now I'm not working, so I've got a little more time than a lot of people would have to be gaming. I'd rather be working, but, you know, not everybody has that kind of time. And when I go back to work, I'm not going to have that kind of time either. So it's like, well, I would rather than be clickbaited. I'd rather watch a video that gets to the point and says, hey, this is how you can save time and this is how you can be efficient. And that's why I try to make the stuff I try to make. That's why I don't make a video every day, because I don't have something to say every day. I suspect my channel could be a whole lot bigger with the style that I do if I just made daily content. But I was talking to Oliver yesterday, and he was like, dude, you're not working, go all in. And I'm like, and this is maybe oversharing a little bit, but because I'm not working, I kind of feel a little bit worthless, and it's really hard to get motivated right now because I know I'm capable of going out and working. So yeah, I can't really go all in. I felt better about it when I was working and then coming home and kind of treating it as a second little gig. Like it was something to get me through the day at work where I would, you know, hey, I'm going to go home and do this video tonight. And I was very motivated because I knew I was being productive. And it's a little bit tougher when I'm not working. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little too hard on myself. But yeah, it's basically just my setup for the end game Coke stuff. Oh God, I thought those were footprints. I'm like, what the fuck? They look like human footprints. So Chasm Cave should be right up here. And if I can't remember the name of the challenge, but there is a particular challenge. This is one of the laptops that you get the memory buffer at. You have to sit in here and wait for an aurora. And I have completed that challenge. I've actually completed all the challenges. Maybe one of these days, if you guys want to see some of those challenges, like Dark Walker or As the Dead Sleep, I'll give them another try. As the Dead Sleep was a hard one, man. It was so hard, just considering the difficulty level of it all. Wolf. Problem is, I don't know if it's just one wolf or... Uh-oh. Weather's taking a turn again. We need to deal with this wolf first. I don't want to get caught in a... There he is. There he is. All right. Teabag, teabag, teabag. Okay. Sorry, I know that's rude, but I love it. It's one of my signature moves. All right, here we go. More containers. Ammo. Just matches, which we don't really need. Ammo. Clothing. We certainly don't. Oh my God, look at all that clothing. All right, the weather's clearing up now. All right, not bad. Now, the higher difficulty level you go, there won't be nearly as many of these containers, so the loot's not as good, but this is still, even on Interloper, anybody that's like a good Interloper player will tell you this is like the best place to come and loot. Crackers! Come on, ammo. I want another ammo stash. Nope, more coffee and tea. All right, well, that's the loot for this area. And we're not even heavy, so let's go back to that cave. Not Chasm Cave, but the cave that we were going to look at. I'm not going to bother hiding this guy. Hey, look, man, if that wolf didn't start nothing, there wouldn't have been nothing. That's all I'm saying. He wants to start something, I'll finish it. I ain't scared. I'm a little scared of the cougar, but I ain't scared. On my main save, I'm not scared of the cougar, but I do want to take some precautions. I believe if you wear the ballistic vest, which you get in Blackrock Prison, that the lacerations don't happen. They take that out of the equation. There's something over here. Are they up higher, or is this right here on the left? Oh yeah, there's this area. I forgot about this area. Be a dead guy or a dead animal. Dead animal. And we don't really need it, so let's just move on. But I think maybe tomorrow I'm going to start working on the last Conan Exiles video I have planned. I've been putting it off far too long. I've got an idea for a No Man's Sky video, which I may or may not make. It's not going to be overly positive, and I don't want to drag the game too hard. Because basically that is kind of clickbaity, because I know it's going to get negative interaction, but lots of views. But you know what? It might be my last chance to say, hey, here's why I'm going. And that's it. I don't really have anything here that I feel like I need to cover for Long Dark, because I'm not super familiar with all the new shit they've put in recently. Well, that mountain in the background looks like a damn volcano, doesn't it? Flat top and everything. Oh, it's not. It's two mountains. Just couldn't tell from the trees. Got ourselves a decent day for exploring here, and hopefully the bear didn't spawn behind us there, but he shouldn't have. I think we've still got 15 or 20 days for that bear respawns. If you play it right, a bear can last you upwards of a month, depending on the size of the bear. I know we're going to have another wolf up here, so let's get this guy out and ready to rumble. But we're kind of over here looking for birch or maple. And then whatever loot might or might not be in this cave. It's probably just some wood or some coal. But we'll have it at that point. We're not even heavy. Even with all that gear and shit we picked up, we're not even heavy. And there is still more that we need to go look at. We haven't explored it all yet. We're getting close, though. We are getting close. All right, so we did find some birch there. There was a wolf up here before. Possibly despawned. I don't see anything. There he is. All right, he's a ways away. We're not concerned with him at the moment. Cave is right down here. Some would say there's a real lack of cover in this region, and I think that Ash Canyon's tougher when it comes to getting stuck outside for lack of good shelter. Timberwolf's got a ton of caves. And as expected, not much here, just some firewood. But we'll take it. And we'll just head on back home. Now, I can't remember if we went through Three-Way Cave or not. So we may have to go back up and do that. And we still got the cave up there at Deer Clearing that we need to go and clean out, because it's got a lot of pelts and things up there and a lot of like firearm cleaning kits that are going to come in big handy later. So I expect when we finally get everything all looted out, we're going to do a lot of traveling again back and forth, just grabbing loot and bringing it back to Pleasant Valley, where we pretty much plan to live out our life. Hey, Birch. That means we got to deal with you. Oh, ooh, wolf. Maybe we don't even have to deal with him. He's moving the other way. He didn't sniff us. He didn't sniff us. So I think there's one more set of containers in this map. It'll take a little doing to get to them, so we might go rest a little bit, drop stuff off, and then we might go up and do it, because it's not far from the cabin. And then other than getting back up that rope and down that rope a couple of times, or maybe just the once, probably twice. If we're being completely honest, it's probably going to be twice. We're done looting here in Timberwolf. Thought I heard a little growl. Surprised we didn't see that other wolf that was dead. Who knows where he ran off to. It's amazing we're not even... Oops. We're not even heavy. I'm still a little bothered that my controller was fucking up my keyboard. I haven't been playing anything lately that's controller based. Like, I've been logging into Conan just to reset my timers, but other than that, I haven't even played that game in a couple of weeks. I kind of been looking for a little juicy decay farm, but most of what's left on that server is people that literally just go in and reset their timers. It's potentially possible we could catch them where they didn't do it, and they didn't really mean to not do it, but we might be able to loot them out regardless. There's one guy I want to get off the map, but he is a notorious timer resetter. All right, lots of things to drop again. Let's just eat that. God, that's a fuck ton of coffee. Gotta find a place to drop some clothes. This is my only complaint about this region, is there's just nowhere to really drop stuff. If you drop it outside, it gets all frozen and shit. You can't do much with it. Sure, we got a lot of gear there, but it's all worthless. it's 99% worthless. All right, let's go drop off that fuel. We got quite the wood pile over here now. And then, good Lord, do we have a lot of matches. We'll need them eventually when and if we decide to go for fire starting 5. That's going to be a concerted effort. Got one little sapling. All right, we got over half a day, man. Let's get out and continue to explore. I don't see any reason to put this off. Now, there's a couple of ways we could do this. We could go up the river, but we would need to have hung a rope. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to this rope, climb the rope. That'll be the easiest way to get up on this ledge. Bella, every time I look at you doesn't mean you need to come over here. This is what I get for getting a blue healer Aussie Shepherd mix. She is so clingy. She thinks anytime you look at her, it's like, oh, time for loving. Love her to death. She's a good kid. She ain't got a harmful bone in her body. But man, is she clingy. There's our rope. Not a very long climb. Oh, there's the other wolf. He gone. Weather is looking just a little threatening here. Very overcast in the sky. All right, so we've been coming down. That's the bear. Fuck. His cave's right here. We don't really need to engage with him right now. We're here for loots and nothing else. We'll be able to get down from here without climbing, but we won't be able to get up here without climbing. All right, he didn't sniff us. We're fine. We're fine. I think it's over here. God, I haven't been up here in a long time. Actually, I feel like we need to go up that rope in order to get where we want to go. There's another rope over here we can use, though, to get up on that tier. Have to be wary here as well because there could be a bear, but I don't think there's going to be, with that being the spawn. And then we know there's another bear spawn there, but there could be upwards of 3 or 4. Oh, moose. Moose sign. We found the moose location. Doesn't mean he's here, but we got to be really careful. That's one of 3 little moose markings. There's the second one, which means if he's here, he's probably right down the bottom of this hill. 1, 2, and then we don't know where the third marking's at. Let's play it pretty safe. And try to get outside his area. We can just follow that river on down. And that takes us right back to where we were. Here's that rope we were talking about. I still don't see a third moose sign, so I don't know where it spawns. Makes me a little nervous. There's the third one. So he would spawn somewhere in between those three. Not interested in Marty Moose right now. All right, so this rope will go up and then we'll go back across. To get to where we want to go. Oh shit, our tired meter's down a little bit. I think we're fine though. This isn't too taxing a climb. There's also a cave up here we can sleep in. Oh, come on. Come on, Will. Don't be a wimp. Get up the rope. Oh my God. Talk about cutting it close. So there is a cave up here that would take you to Black Rock. We're going to be going back to the right and looking for these engine parts. Starting to get hazy again. There's a cave right back over there that we could get into. See it right there, center screen. Then back up that way, there's another transition cave. Yeah, we cut that one pretty close. This should be a cave that takes us to a different area of the map. That cave there would put us over by three-way cave, which isn't really a cave, but down here should be the final bit of the plane. And in a worst case scenario, we can just sleep in that transition cave right up there. But I think there is containers here. I could be wrong. We may already have them all. Yeah, maybe we have them all already. I've been wrong once or twice. Now this is that little climb that we were trying to get up that we couldn't because it's not here. The rope isn't here. We'd have to go back to summit and bring that down. But the bear was right down that way. Now, I mean, we could billy goat down here. All right, so maybe we're just kind of done looting then. We'll take the long way home, I suppose. But we also know full well that if we do end up in a bad spot here, the river takes us right back down to our cabin. There's a little bit of area to explore on the other side of the river, but not a ton. And like I said, this cave that's right over here is actually a cave that takes us to a different part of this map. Thought that might be a bear. That's just a big ass rock or stump. Okay. Saw a wolf over there on the left as well. Mother. Stupid, silly game. All right, so I guess we've got all the containers that we're going to get for this particular run. I couldn't remember if there was any up there or not. Or up where we're at now, and it doesn't look like there was, so the only thing we really have left to do is go back up that rope and get ourselves all that stuff that we left up in that deer clearing cave. But I do want to take you back here and show you that there's a transition cave that goes to Blackrock. I'm not remotely currently interested in going to Blackrock. That cave right there will take you to Blackrock. Still got half a day. Even though we're tired, it's only because we've been climbing. But yeah, right here it goes all the way through. That's not it'll say leave. And we're not interested in that. And this is our little secret here because this is how we get back to Ash Canyon if we needed to on my main save. We would go through Blackrock and this way down because we can't climb up from Pleasant Valley anymore. We'd have to go the very long way around. How did I pass by this and not see that maple sapling? Good Lord. All right, let's find the river and let's head back down. And yeah, we're gonna go home. We'll try to make that trip up to that other cave. See if we can get it all, and then we'll head back down with that. And then I think it's time to move on to PV. Like, I don't see any reason to hang out. We're looted. We're looted up. Need to go around this. There was a wolf down here, so we're kind of being a little bit cautious. Now, wait a daggum minute here. Oh yeah, there's a billy goat that you can do there. It's over this way. I think it's right here. We wouldn't be able to get on that rope because we're encumbered, but we can always billy goat down. It's not a problem. And off we go. The bear was right back that way now, so we're just going to head this way. This is our moose area again. Not spawned right now, but this is where it would spawn, which really isn't bad for us. We just have to come up the river and check, and we could hunt the moose. There's plenty of places where we could get out and shoot him really with zero danger. Well, thank you. The trick, in my opinion, the trick to billy goating is trying to find the crack. Like when you see there's a little V shape, and then you just ride back and forth in that V shape. And you should be able to get up and down, well, down with no problem. You're not going to get up that, but certainly shouldn't be much of a problem getting down. You know, there is still a little area over here. And there's some birch that we did not see. I think most of this game centers around confidence. And that just comes with time. I was super nervous doing that kind of stuff in the beginning, and now it's like, it's just a pretty easy billy goat. but you can kind of see it. Once you know what you're looking for, you can see where you can get up and down. The worst feeling in the world is getting somewhere and getting stuck during a billy goat, and then you're like, how in the hell am I going to do this? Potentially falling and, you know, to your death is never fun. But I think there's a way to get up and around here, and I believe this is Andre's Peak. I thought there was a cave up here somewhere too, but maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, no, I don't see it. Okay, well, that's that then. No skin off our nose. We'll head back. But I would have swore there was a cave up here someplace. Maybe I'm wrong. There's no way they're gonna let us shimmy up that. Something over here. Nothing. Okay, well, poop sticks. I thought there was something there. All right. We want to go back down here, I think. That was a little bit of a fall. We're lucky we didn't get a sprain or a tear on clothing there, because I wasn't crouched. Somewhere around this area, there's another cave. I know there is. I just don't remember how to get to it. We went left. Maybe if we went right, there's a cave. God bless it. Well, we can't use our rifle now if we wanted to, unless we heal. And that looks like it's a sheer fall off. Back down to the river. Yeah, I don't know. I thought there was a cave up here. I guess I'm wrong. But we should be able to go down here as well. And just continue down the river. This is fine. This will ultimately lead us home. There's something about that. I know there is. Probably nothing but like wood or something in there anyway, so it's not really that important that we hit it, but I would like to have found it to show you guys where it was at, but I don't remember offhand. For all I know about these maps and stuff, there's still a ton that I don't know. But there you can kind of see just down the way here is that Timberwolf that we went and skinned, and there's our fishing hut, and over there is our cabin. There is a few more areas over that way to explore, but there's nothing there really. There may be some saplings, perhaps, some animals. That's really about it. So we'll just have to make that long trip back up to Deer Clearing and Deer Cave. And that's pretty much Timberwolf Mountain, guys. We made short work of it, much shorter than I anticipated. We'll be heading out to PV here shortly. We'll carry what we can. That's it. Let's see, we could have taken this rope with us and attached it up there and had a double climb to get to that second plateau, but I don't see a point. A chicken meal. Let's eat it. Probably get food poisoning at 37%. Oh, we didn't. That's great. And we got it all down too. Nice. We found some maple. And a little more birch. Cool. Cool. All right, so we're not even going to attempt to get up there when we're this tired. And the day's kind of wearing on us here a little bit anyway, so let's kind of take stock. Let's double check our inventory, get as light as we can, which this is about it. I'm just not comfortable not carrying the stuff that we have on us. Really, we need to pick up a few more sticks. All things being equal. There's just so much stuff here, it's ridiculous. But as you can see, we're in pretty good shape now for if we wanted to come over here and stay for a few days. If we want to go for a bear hunt or a moose hunt, we can come over here and hang out. We've got plenty of fuel here now. We're going to leave a cooking pot behind because we're going to find a few cooking pots, I think, in PV. At least one, maybe two. And probably another skillet. We will be taking with us some of these saplings. Probably not all. And we'll probably take a few of the maple saplings. Probably not all. What's the rest of our gear looking like right now? Our wolf coats are in pretty good shape. Our rabbit stuff's in really good shape. All of our other stuff is in really good shape. We need a little scrap metal to repair those, but what we could do, since we've got two pairs, I want to take a peek at this though. These are actually lighter. Why can't I wear those? Okay, I can wear them. Can't let those hang out there. But yeah, we've got a lot of pelts and a lot of like firearm cleaning kits and stuff up in that cave, so it's definitely worth it to go back up there. We just can't come back heavy because we're going to need to come down a rope. So it may take 2 trips. Well, we got home just in time, didn't we? Jeez. But we don't have anything else we can really do. So let's we'll just pass some time. Try to get it to dark. And then we can leave kind of like right at dawn as long as the weather permits. "12-hour sleep. Pick up a little water. We'll have ourselves a good morning munchie. And hopefully the weather is... Oof. It's a little rough. It's a little rough. All right, off we go. We're not cold, so we're fine. And the sky doesn't appear like it's looking blizzard, but we're going to have to keep a real close eye on this. If we get stuck at Deer Cave, it's not a big deal. Again, we'll keep our eye open for potential bear respawn that would be directly in our way right now. We don't want that. But it is kind of windy. Again, we're perfectly warm. I'm not concerned. And if we have to leave a little bit up here at deer clearing, we will. Like, I'm not too concerned about leaving some clothing or whatever that's just going to be cloth later. And now that we've explored this region, we really don't have much reason to ever come back here unless, like I said, we want to do like a little, hey, let's go to Timberwolf and let's try to find a moose or a bear. He's back already. Holy balls. All right, well, that complicates matters a little bit. He should not be spawned yet. That is way fast for him to be respawned. We can get around him pretty easy, but that is way fast for him to be respawned. That's like a 10-day respawn. Shouldn't be that fast. It's almost an exploit at that point. May have to deal with him on the way back. We'll see. Prefer to not to and save the ammo, but it's a bear. You never. If he comes at us, we gotta take him. I did not expect him to be back up already. Because we haven't even been in region 10 days. We took him on day 2. So really, it's... I don't know, we'll look at it when we get up to deer clearing. I'll tell you exactly when we got in and how quickly it was respawned. We can just do summit -2 because we summited 2 days after we got here. We'll work on those guys once we get back down here. Because we're going to come back this way, I think. There's no reason to not to. This... Oh, that's nerve-wracking. Okay. Okay. Of course, summit's right back up there. You can kind of see the plane. Then there's another deer here that we can probably take the pelt off of. Not that we need it. The problem I have right now is that we're wearing snow pants, and I'd much rather be wearing deer pants because they're so much easier renewable, but they're not as warm as the snow pants. Right now, cloth is no problem. It will become a problem later in the game. Assuming we live. That's a pretty big assumption. But let's get this done. Let's get ourselves back down to farmhouse. Pick up our, we got to pick up our arrowheads and stuff, and then we'll try to settle in at farmhouse. Maybe just a touch. And then we're probably going to call it a night because, like I said, I'm trying to get back on a regular sleep schedule. I've been staying up till 4, 5, 6 in the morning and not sleeping very well. So I think it would just be better for me to, like maybe try to go to bed at a normal freaking hour, 10, 11 o'clock, and get up at 8 or 9. But we're already almost at this damn cave. I don't think there's a way to go down. Well, there might be. We might be able to go down. That ledge right there might be goatable. Come down and straight down. So yeah, we should be able to pick all this up on one try. We'll see how heavy it makes us because we still have to be able to outrun the bear. I don't want to engage with the bear if we don't have to. And if we're not heavy at all, it's fine. We'll just come down the rope. Coming down's a lot easier than going up. And this is a fairly short climb anyway, so. Up we go. Going down. Get off the chair, please. Get off the chair. Down. Down. Thank you. The one thing she doesn't understand is the word no. I've tried to drive no home I don't know how many times and it just doesn't stick. She gets all the other commands. She'll sit, she'll lay down, she'll roll over. She doesn't shake. She's too hyper to shake, but she'll you tell her to sit right next to you and she'll sit. She doesn't stay there very long, but she'll sit. My dog with ADD. Yeah, well, you know, I guess it's fitting. Now, this bear that we killed up here shouldn't be back yet because he was killed a couple of days after the fact. So if we can get this stuff out of here real quick, we'll be in excellent shape. Let's just grab it all, see how heavy we are. Because we're currently not heavy. Now we are. So what do we really need here? What can we do to get ourselves back under the limit? Well, we can drop these damn things because we just don't care. We'll leave a note that, hey, we've got this stuff up in this cave if we ever want to come back and get it. And now we're out of here. See what I'm saying? Like, this is super easy. And we picked up all the stuff we wanted. We'll leave food up here. And some water. We could probably leave that fuel too. But we don't ever want to, we don't have a reason to ever come back up here, honestly. You know what? Let's just Let's just play with fire. Those are ruined. I'm not worried about it. Meat, I'm not concerned. This will give us something to do before we leave. We're pretty heavy. We are pretty heavy. All right, so what we discovered here is that if we go over to the right and then come back, instead of going where we were, we should be able to get out of here. You know what? F it. I'm not. Let's just break it down here. Let's just break that stuff down here and we'll be a little lighter anyway. It'll take us some time. If we got to sleep here tonight, we got food and water. Let's just break it down into its components. In shade and shelter. We've got food and water to do it. It'll be so much lighter to do it this way. We'll still be a little bit heavy, but I don't think we'll be nearly as heavy as we are. Just keeping an eye on our food and water. We'll probably spend the night here. Give us a little bit of liquid and some vitamin C. And we'll just keep breaking it down. We're not going to be super heavy getting out of here. And like I said, we can just sleep in the cave. No blood, no foul, really. I don't know how we're going to decide what we're going to take with us over to PV. Like, I have no idea. We would need to make 4 or 5 trips back and forth from farmhouse back to here to clean it out. And I'm not sure we're interested in really cleaning it out. Again, this is a regional based situation that we're trying to leave ourselves set up and in a good place for later down the run. For any new content they might come out with that requires us to come back through, you know? Imagine having 2 runs going that are 600 and some days each. That'd be craziness, right? Let's go ahead and set up our camp here. Oh, that's right. There was a bedroll here. We don't have to use ours. All right, cool. Let's drink. That's going to lighten us up a little bit too. We're going to eat. We'll eat here in a minute. Let's just keep breaking shit down. Each time we do it, we're getting a little bit lighter. We might be just a tad heavy, maybe even enough to where we can't get down the rope. Not going to be by much, though. All right, so that's all the clothing we can do anything with. And we're like 2 kilos heavy. Not a whole lot I can do about it. Let's first off sleep. Let's get about 9 hours-ish. And then maybe after eating that steak, and we'll have to drink again. Maybe we'll be right at that 45 mark. But we're not going to have our full condition back, so I don't know if we'll get down the rope or not. But we shouldn't be very heavy. I mean, just slightly overweight now. So what we'll do is we'll take a steak and we'll eat it. And we'll take another drink, and that should put us right down that rope. We're going to do it the easy way, guys. I'm a little bit surprised. And now the drink will put us underweight. Oh, it didn't. I mean, it's got to be so close. 0.22. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Let's get back to the rope climb before we end up in trouble here. So you may ask what that area right there is, because that looks like a cave, right? That's actually a transition back over to Ash Canyon. And that puts you out at the Pillar's Footrest. Kind of the long way around, if you will. We've passed by it a couple of times, but not really all that interested in it. I mean, we are just ever so slightly overweight here. Barely, barely, barely. So I think what we'll do is just drop a couple of sticks and climb. Sticks are super grabbable. And down we go. So this will let us pick up those 2 deer pelts that are on the way back home. And that's it. That's the final drop off for Timberwolf Mountain. We can spend one more day here probably and just kind of situate so when we want to come back, and we'll see what stuff we want to come back and grab at whatever point. Not super important right now though. Excuse me. But I know my eyelids are getting a little heavy. Usually I would have taken a nap this afternoon, and I didn't do that. That's what's been fucking me up, I think, in sleep. Naps are great, but it screws up my entire rhythm. And like I said, it did feel good to make a video today. It may not be the end-all be-all of every video I've ever made or any video I've ever made, but feel good to get it out there, like some actual decent information for people that don't just want to be like, you can make $150,000 a day, and then you look at it and you're like, nope, that doesn't work that way. I get so sick and tired of people that do that shit. Makes me want to vomit. All right, so this is just another regular old cave we could sleep in at some point. Nothing else there. We'll just take the wood with us, though. You know, I guess while we're here, we could run over to three-way and just make sure there was no interesting spawns over there. It's just down the way here. Woof, bang, you're dead. He's probably going to re-growl at us before he bleeds out. Unless somehow he gets around us and then he'll die as we go back through. Because they won't run off a cliff or anything. So I think three-way cave is right here, maybe? Yeah, and I think there could be some interesting spawns here. Maybe a bow or maybe a sweater. I can't remember what it is, but there can be some stuff in here. And I don't remember taking a good look at it, so we might as well. Because again, we got no reason to come back up here. There's a 100% torch. Hey, a fire starting book. That'll help. Not gonna take that. We'll take that though. Now, I feel like there's another area that's a little bit hidden that I've seen some of the higher level players that are like, yeah, you can find this here. And it might have been like a bearskin coat or something. I don't remember exactly where it's at, but it's one of those potential spawns. So maybe we shouldn't just even worry about it too much. But this is what they call three-way cave. Yeah, let's just head out. We don't need any of that junk anyway. We'll get back on our main path. We'll try to pick up those 2 deer pelts, and then let's just get back to the cabin. We'll get situated, figure out what we want to grab, and then maybe in the morning we just go ahead and head out. Get over to PV, and that's where we'll start the next stream. That way is into Chasm Cave, by the way. Or down to it, but you can't... It would be a nasty billy goat. Not really, I don't think. I don't think anything was going to attack us there. I think there's really only this one wolf spawn. It's more... There's a way to get down right there. You remember that area that was by that Chasm Cave? There's a rope climb that you can take down from there. to get down to that area. And then the third way takes you back up to towards deer clearing. There'd be a rope climb that's not there. You'd have to put a rope on that anchor. So other than that one wolf, I don't think there's much here that could hurt you. The problem is that's not exactly an indoor area. Like it's sheltered, but there's that wolf still running. It's sheltered, but it's not like great as far as shelter goes. Is he literally just barely running? Look at that. He's like he's on a treadmill or something. Buggy wolf. He ain't gonna bother us. He's gonna die soon anyway. Got half a mind to put a stone in you, son. Now remember, we do have to negotiate the bear, which all in all shouldn't be that difficult. But we also know there was 2 deer carcasses that we're interested in getting the pelts for, just to have them sitting around here. We'll take notes as to what we're leaving behind and what's here, so we know, hey, if we want this, we can come back to here and get it. I may have just passed one of them. Or we're coming up on it. It was really confusing seeing those shadows and not anything above us. There he is. She is. Yeah, I don't think there would be any bear or anything real dangerous that could come get you there. I mean, the only time a wolf is really going to do damage that could kill you is if you, 1, forget to use antiseptic after a bite, or 2, don't bandage after a bite, or 3, you're very early on the game and you just don't have any gear. Our gear is in excellent shape right now. Right down there is where you transition over to Ash Canyon. So that's the other side of, we're crossing that same cave that over there would be the chasm cave and stuff like that. A lot of this stuff intersects, it's just at different elevations. So it can feel confusing from time to time, but it's really not that bad. Timberwolf is fairly easy to navigate once you kind of got a little experience in the region. Just take the hides. We have to be semi-diligent here because we don't have any food on us. So let's try to get down and around this bear as quick as we can and get back to the house. And it's starting to turn on us here, so let's hightail it. We're a little heavy. We're not moving too bad though. But we're not exactly sprinting now either, are we? I see that wolf out in front of us that was there before. Now, there is another area that we explored before you got here, Ease, that was up near Summit. There was like an area with another cave, but there was absolutely nothing up there this time. So we kind of just let it pass us by. But we did go up there and explore it just in case. Might be 2 wolves in the area now. The one thing I would like to avoid at this point would be a ground fight with that bear. So we're going to go this direction. And one of a couple of things is going to happen. Either the bear is reset at his cave and he's just coming out, or he's going to be out in front of us heading towards our cabin or coming back from our cabin. But we would like to identify where that bear is at as quickly as possible. No surprises. A lot of times when you leave the area and then come back, he'll have reset back to his den. But that doesn't mean that happens every time. We're giving him a wide berth from his spawn location. I just don't see him yet, so we're going to take the road less traveled up this way. And he is not right out front, so he is out and about someplace. Our best hope is that he's just despawned for the time being. But I expect to see him in front of us. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and get ready for that scenario right now. He doesn't path up here, typically. Unless he's following you. But I'd rather be prepared than not be prepared. Cautiously peeking over the edge. I don't want to trigger him. We shouldn't be stinky. Well, yeah, we are. We've got those pelts on us. No, rabbit. I'm just kidding. So it actually appears that he has despawned, which is fine. We don't want to mess with him anyway. Not right now. In the next stream, one of our first orders of business when we get to PV is obviously to get out and get looting. But we also want to do what we did here, which is try to find a really good source of food right out of the gate. So we don't, you know, have any issues with that. For that purpose, we're going to hope that there is a bear spawn near to the farmhouse. And then also we could walk over to the barn area and see if the moose is spawning there or not. That should give us more than enough nutrition to loot out Pleasant Valley, get up to the signal tower or the radio tower and get it repaired. And then that corresponding night, we will have to be out and looking for the bunker. And you'll see. I don't know, have you ever done the Tales? Signal Void is not real difficult. It's a lot easier if you know how to play it. But Pleasant Valley will be our first excursion into Signal Void. I almost said Tales from the Void. That'd be something, wouldn't it? So yeah, if you continue to watch the streams, you'll see the progress of doing that first mission. And then hopefully we'll be able to get the rest of them done. We may even divert the rest of our exploration to get through all the Tales. Sorry, tired. The main thing that we wanted to do, though, was be sure that we were completely ready to go do all the tales. And that's kind of our thinking on that right now. I want to make sure we got plenty of ammo and all that good stuff. Okie dokie. Let's drop off this wood. Let's get ourselves lightened up. How much time do we have left today? Tell you what, let's grab a bite of nosh here. And we'll take a sip of that water, and let's see if we can read that book for tonight. And then we'll spend the day getting our gear sorted, what we want to take, what we're going to leave. And then one more day after that, we'll head out of here. But let's see if we can leave that book behind by reading it right now. Should be enough time left in the day to get it done, and there is. Nice. That way we don't have to carry it with us. So we've read every book that we've picked up thus far, which I think is yeah, look, you know, in my main save, I have the library and all that stuff, but it's not necessary. As long as you get the benefit of reading the books, that's all that really matters. Don't think we've got a lot of room to give here. Man, we're in a way right now, aren't we? Got a little food to drop off. Now, there typically would be a rope climb to get down from here to PV, but we're not going to take that route. We're going to billy goat it, so we can be heavy going to that rope. We're already quite heavy. We'll leave a couple of saplings here, just in case we have to make another bow or some more arrows. Guts I'm not concerned about right now. We'll get plenty of those. We'll take one quality tool just in case we don't find any. Drop one axe. How's our hacksaw look? 52%. I bet we've got one that's better than that. Maybe a real fight in the ass to get out of there. Because we don't have any metal here, so I can't. I know we had more hacksaws than that. Do we have some in this drawer? Is that where they went? What else might we need in our adventures going forward? We'll find more lantern fuel. That won't be a problem. We need to take all of our casings. Take our bow. All of our arrows. We'll take an extra whetstone. And those. And a sewing kit. Why not? We'll leave a lot of this stuff behind. And that flask. Because that's kind of like display stuff. Now, I don't remember if we read these or not. I know we didn't read guns, guns, guns. Alright, this is just going to be it. So let's get as much sleep as we can. And we're going to head over to PV Farmhouse in the morning. Weather permitting. Oh, wait. We still need to... All right, so we came back at day 53, meaning we took the bear at day 54. And we are currently at day 65, so it was only about 10 days for a respawn on that bear, which is way too fast. Way too fast. But we're only 65 days in. It's insane, man. Insanity. And also, we should probably leave some notes. EWM, Timberwolf Mountain. We are leaving saplings. We'll specify both. We are leaving miscellaneous tools. Food, water. Cooking pot. And then we should probably say something along the line of miscellaneous shit. Because we are... But we can do that when we get there. Alright, we're just going to be heavy. We're probably going to be even heavier once we get down to the prepper's cache because we need to pick up our arrowheads. All right, and we're out of here. Got a long walk ahead of us. A long, heavy-ass walk. Maybe we left the arrowheads at... I think we have the feathers to pick up at the prepper's cache. Yeah, we're going to walk in a straight line for a second. I'm going to close my window. Give me 1 sec. Okay, it's dark. I don't need people seeing in on me. I can't hardly see anything out my window when it's dark. Shades are closed. I didn't expect to hear that. Now remember, we just popped in at Pleasant Valley Farmhouse, and that's all we did. We looked for the cache, and the Prepper's cache wasn't there. There's 2 Prepper's caches in Pleasant Valley. One is there all the time. It's not the cache, and then we checked the other location, and it wasn't there. Ash Canyon wasn't there. Timberwolf Mountain wasn't there. Pleasant Valley wasn't there, nor was Mystery Lake. And what that tells me is most likely the weapons cache is probably in Mountain Town. So that'll be something to look forward to. I think we're going to skip Mystery Lake a second time and probably go straight to Mountain Town, where we'll set up and we'll loot there, and then we'll need to repair that tower. That'll be our second of 3 towers. And then we'll have to head into HRV for just a short amount of time and go there after that, because that's where the bunker's actually at for Mountain Town. Pleasant Valley is a little bit weird because the bunker is actually in Pleasant Valley, whereas the other 2, be it Mountain Town or Forlorn Muskeg, you have to actually go somewhere else. And for Forlorn, we actually have to go to we have to go to Bleak Inlet, and I'm not really looking forward to that. Not that it's hard, but Timberwolves. All in good time, guys. All in good time. Like I said, we've got quite the walk to get back over to Farmhouse. And I think that's where I'm going to call it for tonight. We'll have hit about 3 hours on the stream. I put in another 4 or 5 hours today on that video, so I feel comfortable that I worked today. A little bit. And then, I don't know, tomorrow I'm definitely going to stream, depending on how much work I get done on that other video that I want to make. I don't know when I'm going to release that video. It's a Conan Exiles video. It's not for everybody, but it's kind of a guide to one of the toughest dungeons in the game. How to make it pretty easy and strategies to make it really easy. But not having played that game for a couple of weeks, I'm a little bit rusty, so that may take a few days to produce, which is fine. I probably wouldn't want to release it until middle of next week anyway. For whatever reason, my channel doesn't do well when I release on Saturday or Sunday, but if I release on Thursday or Friday, it does really good. Like Sunday is where videos just go to die. I've never had good response ever on a Sunday. But I am getting kind of hungry, and it looks like the damn dog wants to lay and watch a movie, so we might just go do that. I got pulled pork sandwiches for dinner with some baked beans. Sounds wonderful. We still got a bit of a walk here, though. We're not done for the night just yet. Anything can happen. I mean, our whole run could end like anytime. Like, it's just long dark. Maybe we'll do something like Darkwalker tomorrow night, or we'll try As the Dead Sleep, and I can show you guys just how difficult it is. It's such a bite in the ass. Darkwalker, not so much. Darkwalker is all about being strategic in your movements. It's pretty easy to get away from the Darkwalker. When it comes to As the Dead Sleep, if you don't get out of Bleak Inlet in the first day, and you start taking cold damage, you're basically screwed. You've got to be carrying warm drinks at all times. You only sleep when you know you're going to be warm. It's hard. It is really hard. I have beaten it, but it took me multiple tries. I just don't want to keep going on this and burn out. You know what I mean? Like, I want to continue with this save, but I don't want to burn out on it. All right, so the way we're going to do this is we're going to come over here. Did they change this? No. And we're going to find this crack. Now, remember when I told you you want to find these cracks and you want to travel down them? That is the proper way to go about billy goating. Now, there's going to be a small bit of a fall here at the end. But for all intents and purposes, we're already down. And there we go. That's how you billy goat down from Timberwolf Mountain to Pleasant Valley. Let's pop in here. I can't remember what we left behind. We might have left our feathers. At least they're not going to weigh too much. Oh, you know what we didn't grab? Son of a bitch. We didn't grab a pry bar, so we're going to need to find a pry bar somewhere here in PV. We had multiples over there, and I just didn't grab any. Whoopsies. That's better than the hatchet we've got, or the hacksaw we've got. Yeah, goating, it's daunting in the beginning, but once you kind of know what you're looking for as far as ledges and stuff you can get down and little wedges you can get through, it's not that bad at all. With the wildlife refresh, I don't know exactly where all the animals are going to be, so we're going to take precautions with our gun out. But this is always been my home region. I know this place extremely well. I feel quite confident that even in a blizzard, we can get to shelter. May not be the farmhouse, but we can get to a shelter. We already looted this. We stopped by and just picked up what was there. We were hoping maybe for some ammo. We didn't get any. That's fine. Nice. It's, some people would call it pretty cheesy or even exploity. And I can understand that train of thought. I call it being smarter than the game. I mean, the game is actively trying to kill you at all times. Whether it be a blizzard or animals. So I figure me taking the advantages that I can take is just a fair part of the game. But some would call it pretty exploity. And hey, if Hinterland has a problem with it. They can always, you know, not de-aggro an animal when you go into cover. There's lots of little things that you can do, and I kind of envy you because you get to discover all this stuff for the first time. It's how I talk about No Man's Sky. Like, even though I'm not a big fan of the game and I don't like the direction it's gone, I still feel like for a first-time player, it's wonderful to go out and, you know, discover all these things that you can discover and play it through for the first time. So therefore, I would say, you know, if you find it on sale, it's definitely worth a pickup. But at the same time, once you've done that, there's the replay value isn't as strong as what I'd like to see, especially considering the amount of updates and stuff they've put out for it. The content in those updates just isn't very good. And that's, as a seasoned player, that's my argument for as to why I'm kind of not into that game at all anymore. The community would tell you, oh my God, everything they do is gold. Sean Murray shits gold bricks, and that's not at all how that works. I think it's a fine game. It's just not this groundbreaking game that the community thinks that it is. And if you say anything negative about that game, the community will attack you. And to me, I kind of find that fun. So every once in a while I make that I make a video just to kind of get that interaction. Yeah, and you'll get a feel for it. Same with archery. You know, practice archery on rabbits or ptarmigan. I don't know if you have the DLC. Depending on when you bought it, if you just bought it, I think you had to get the DLC, right? So you should have the Tarmies, and those are good to practice your bow and arrow, and you can kind of get a feel for the drop and that kind of thing. You can kind of get a feel as to when to fire on a wolf with the bow and arrow. As far as long-term gameplay goes, like on a long run, you need to become very proficient with the bow. Yes, you can get plenty of ammo, especially playing on like a Voyager difficulty. But at some point, that's a finite resource and it will run out. And therefore, you're going to be trying to hunt bear and moose and wolves and all that shit with a bow and arrow. And that can be nerve-wracking. Yeah, that's why I would say try it with rabbits, because one hit on a rabbit's going to kill it. If you make connection with the arrow, it'll kill it and you'll get your rabbit back. Or you'll get your arrow back and the rabbit. With a deer, not so much. Once you hit Archery 5, by just continually practicing with rabbits and ptarmigan, you can crouch shoot, which means you can do better headshots on a deer at closer range. So like, if you watch me, I won't hunt deer with a bow and arrow until I hit Archery 5. Just for that reason. I don't want them running off with my arrow. Now, eventually they'll die and you'll get it back, but you got to go find them. Not that that's a huge problem, but it is a bit of a problem. Because especially early on, before you forage, you don't have a lot of arrowheads to spare. We might see if we can go out and get an animal. We'll kind of keep our eye out, just so you guys know that I'll be set for food and stuff when we come back, instead of trying to scramble early in the stream, whether it be tomorrow or Saturday or Sunday, that we don't have to scramble. We can actually just start looting again. So I think that's what everybody likes seeing, is where stuff's at and all the good stuff you can grab from a region. Pleasant Valley is one of the largest regions in the game. It's very spread out. A lot of people hate this area because of the weather. It can be very harsh. But if you know the map, to me, it's a beautiful region. I love it. I love it to death. Tons of loot. And just very good survivability here. Very good survivability. Before we leave Pleasant Valley, I will show you the coal mine, which we will be using to stock fuel for the farmhouse and eventually for the fishing hut up at Pensive Pond. I will show you the community center and Thompson's Crossing. I'll be showing you the tower, which is up there on that hill up this way. Maybe a little over there. But there's also another farmstead that's burnt out over along the way. There's lots of little POIs. There's Draft Dodger's cabin. Like there's a lot of good stuff here. I love this region to death. And a lot of people would call me crazy for that. And that's fine. Everybody's got their favorite region. For me, it's either Pleasant Valley, which is probably my number 1 or 1A. And then I would say Mountain Town is my 1B or 2. Very, very good loot heavy regions. Pretty easy survival in both. The only problem with PV is if you get stuck out, then you're kind of in a pickle. But I mean, it is what it is, right? It's not that bad. What I'm finding and that I'm learning in this run is I'm starting to read the weather a lot better. You know, like the sky's going gray on me here and it was just blue. So that kind of tells me, hey, pay attention to the weather. But we know where we're heading right now, and I can find my way to the farmhouse in a blizzard, no problem. But not everybody's going to have that capability until they learn the map a little better. But I know if you just follow this down here, this river, straight down, and then we're going to make a right, we're going to basically run in to the farmhouse. And we like that here. We love it, actually. And then very soon, once we get set up in this region, well, I don't know. It's going to be kind of difficult to pull off because we really need to be set up in Muskeg in order to get Signal Void done. We've already got the beginnings of a base and airfield, which is where we're going to end up for the Signal Void tails, or tail. And that's another long walk, but we're going to be going over there in tip-top gear. We're going to have some stuff on us that we can repair it. We may even go as far as to say, hey, we're going to wear double bear coat and we're going to be a little bit heavy, but we're going to be extremely well protected from weather because believe me when I tell you Sundered Pass is a bitch. It's very fucking cold there. And I'm not sure how we're going to handle zone of contamination because that region is the devil. That region will absolutely destroy your clothing. Destroy it. And there's not a lot of wildlife. There's not a lot of wildlife to eat over there either. You can't eat the wolves. They're all poison wolves. Their meat is contaminated. You can't eat them. So food is scarce. It's best to get in that area, get the F out. I hate that region so much. All right, so we're just about to the farmhouse now. But obviously we're not there yet. We need to do stuff and things first. And part of that's going to be looting out Pleasant Valley. But we will be going up and getting that tower that you kind of see there in the middle of your screen. We will be getting that repaired. That will trigger an aurora that night. So we're going to want to do that early in the morning. and then we will be in the Aurora during the night. We'll be finding the first of the 4 bunkers, which will have loot and lore. They're going to tell the tale of what's going on with everything. The tales are pretty well done. Like, I don't hate them. And honestly, I did story mode once, and I thought it was pretty good, but they're taking so long to get the final part of that out. There's just no continuity when there's, not enough to do. All right, so first things first, I see deer right in our field, which is great. I'm not sure if the rabbit nest is over there or not, but we're probably going to craft some snares at some point to get that going. Let's go in and lighten up, and then we'll go over to the barn and we'll see if the moose is spawning over there or if there's a bear that spawns out of the birch forest. So we know where our first food source is going to come from. If you're really lucky, you can get a bear that spawns and walks right by this door. And then you can use that trick to where you can aggro, de-aggro him to take him down with almost zero danger to you. Here we are. Home sweet home. All right, for the time being, let's just get emptied out here. Oh, we did have a pry bar. Okay, good. We're going to put those in cabinets. I'm not doinking around with that. Picking each one of those up individually is a right pain in the ass. Looky there, we even had a deer pelt waiting for us. Now, I haven't cleaned up this area, but this is probably going to be our crafting spot. So for the time being, let's just put all of our crafting supplies here. And I don't even care if they're all together, because we're going to pick them back up probably multiple times. And would you look at that? We're pretty much back to on weight here. We're a little heavier than we were, and I can't seem to figure out why. Well, okay, there's our arrowheads. Still heavier than we were, and I don't understand. Should have only been around 31 kilos. What do I have that I shouldn't have? I don't see it. Not that those weigh anything, but that Go drink is really only good for rope climbing. I'm not sure why we're heavy here. All right, well, we're just going to be this weight. Let's go. Physics. Good times. All right, so we're going to head over to the barn. We're just going to look and see if this is where the moose is spawning. We went by Pensive Pond and he doesn't spawn there. We know that, so I expect he's probably spawning over here, but we don't know that for sure. I also want to check and see if there's a bear that's spawning over in this birch forest. which is relatively close for us to harvest and take him for meat. One small problem that we have right now is that's all our food. I'm sure we'll probably find a little bit of food, canned goods or something over here at the barn that we can snack on. Or we might just make our way straight over to Thompson's. Let's just look and see what we find here. I don't want to start looting out PV tonight necessarily. Like I said, I'm a little on the hungry side. I'm going to walk around with the revolver for the time being because if I need to, we'll take a deer on our way back. We know they're spawned in our yard. There can be a bear spawn over this way. Basically right there, center screen through that birch forest, there's a cave that can have the bear. We looked at it the other day on the main save, but he wasn't spawned at the time. But his cave had bones in it. In case you didn't know, that's how you tell if a bear cave is active, and that's where they're spawning, is where their cave is at. If there is bones inside of it, that's where they're spawning. And you can have multiple bear spawns on a map. It's not just going to be one, it could be upwards of 3. Wolf. Barely caught him out of the corner of my eye. They're saying I missed both shots again. They are so full of shit. Oh well, we startled them. Probably should have brought the bow instead of the revolver. I'm not going to go all the way into the birch forest because I want to get over and look, see if the moose is there, and then if he's not, we'll try to go get us a deer. Just so we've got food ready for that next stream, or maybe we'll even cook it real quick just to get some food on the board. Get us started here in PV. But this particular bear you can cheese using that tractor. If indeed he's spawning in this location. Well, we might just walk over there. Yep. Nope. Thought I saw him. It gets real disorientating or disorienting. Is it disorientating or disorienting? Or did both work? I don't know. It's very disorienting in this forest. It all looks the same once you're inside of it. And you can get turned around quite easily. Want to keep an eye out on all sides. Because he's got a pretty big area. He doesn't always come directly at that tractor. But his cave is over this way. And there's bones in the cave. So, this is his spawn location. So that'll be good to know. That's why we came over here, is just to make sure that he was going to be here. And that's going to be a good source of food for us. And like I said, we will probably use that tractor to take him whenever we need to. So that tells me a good idea might be to build a a sled. He's probably over there somewhere in the woods. But he will come right out by this building with that spawn location. At least he used to. Again, wildlife refresh. And what I usually do is hang out right by this tractor. I'll put a shot into him, let him charge a little bit, and I'll hop in one of the doors. And then he'll turn. And then I got good visibility on him, so I can just bring him back and forth until he bleeds out. It's cheesy, but it works. Now, another place he could be is coming down that road. He does go over here by the barn, too, on some of his tracking. Let's kind of keep an eye on that road, too. We could be in that one-day grace where he doesn't really show up. I don't think the moose is here anymore. Oh, it works. I promise you it works. The moose isn't in this location. That sucks. I don't see any moose markings, so yeah, we're gonna have to figure out where he's spawning. Looks like it's bear meat and PV for the most part. But you would clearly see the moose markings on these trees, and we just don't. So he's not here, which means we don't really have to deal with the barn too much in this run. It'll be available to us if we come over here to try to find that bear when he's up and running. I guess we can go back to the birch forest a little bit and see if we can't find him in there. Maybe we can lure him out. But then again, he may not be spawned. We may be under that one-day protection. It's hard to tell. This is definitely a spawn location for him, but that doesn't mean he's spawned. I'm kind of not liking the weather. We're going to turn around. I hear the wind whipping up on us. Yep. Let's play it relatively safe here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And, I mean, bear, they're going to vary between, say, 30 and 40 kilos. Pound-wise, I don't know. I started this game using metric, so I've just continued it using metric. Let's see if we can find something to snack on while we're here. I was really hoping to get a good source of food right out of the gate, but doesn't look like it's in the cards today. We might find a little grub in here, though, even if it's this dog food over here and some pork and beans. We got all the time in the world to loot all this stuff out, so we don't have to take it all right now. Maybe some jerky. Nope, no jerky. Flare shells galore over here. Hey, all right. We got some syrup. That's good calories. Always check the back of trucks, too. Right there. That's why you always look in the back of trucks. Let's just go upstairs and see what's available up here. We can loot all this later. I'm just looking for a little bit of food for right now. Just to get us started, there's some jerky. A rifle round we'll take. Soda will take. My God, another heavy hammer. I don't understand why there's so many heavy hammers in regions where there's no forge. Oh, and a full flare pistol kit. Jeez Louise, man. Okay, we'll come back to this at some point. We got ourselves a few calories, so we're not in danger of starving. Which I wasn't overly concerned about, but I mean, you know, it's always a concern, right? Food's always a worry. Until it isn't anymore. Now, if the bear comes down that road, you can use these tractors on him, which is pretty cool. All right, we know we've got a wolf in our way. We're going to head back over to farmhouse. He's over there. I see the wolf. There's a couple of free arrows in that target over there, too. We'll pick those up later. There's probably some canned goods and stuff over here at the farmhouse. We're not hurting for food, guys. Not even a little bit. But the weather is starting to take a bit of a turn here, and it's probably going to go blizzard on us. I can kind of see the background now getting a little more hazy at distance. That doesn't mean it's going to blizzard, but I don't want to take too many chances with it. I can't get around here blindfolded, but I know my routes, and as long as I stay on my route, I should be fine. We might even be able to get us a deer here once we get back over into our area. We'll do a crouch pistol shot, try to get up on a buck or something and take him down. But the weather is starting to concern me. It's getting hazier and hazier. Again, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go full blizzard. But we just need to be cognizant that's something that could happen. I don't think we're going to get to hunt a deer. It's going to go blizzard. We're about to walk into a blizzard here. Day 1 PV, blizzard. See how you can't see the background mountains much anymore? That means it's coming in. So what we're going to try to do is we're still going to go try to shoot that deer. And then I'm going to line myself up when we harvest him, or her, with the farmhouse. And that way, even if it goes blizzard, we can just walk straight. And we'll run into the farmhouse. But this is what everybody thinks about PV for the most part, is it's just a blizzard-prone region. And I mean, they're not wrong. It does storm here a lot. All right, let's do our crouch thing. It actually slowed down. I don't think it's going to blizzard now. It threatened to do it, and then it decided against it. It'll probably do it when we're harvesting, if we can get this guy. We should have been ready. And we have to crouch rock or it'll scare him away. Crouch walk or it'll scare him away. We just have to kind of work with him here. There we go. He's going to broadside for us. When he stops next, we fire. There we go. We hit a neck shot. It wasn't a head shot. All right, so we're going to line up. We're going to take all 11 kilos. I'd also like to get the hide and the guts because we don't have any. Well, we've got a few guts here, but not very many. That's kind of where getting a bear or a moose would come in. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the moose is up there by Pensive Pond. Then again, they could have a whole new area where that damn moose spawns. I do not know. All right, so no storm, and that's good. We'll have meat to cook to start off the next stream. Maybe even more meat if we can get this dough. Damn it. Stop being scared, lady. She'll rubber band. Question is, how far is she going to run before she rubber bands? There she is. Get that meat out of inventory, and that way we've got a little more weight to give here. We can move a little quicker. I wouldn't mind getting her. At this stage of the game with our cooking level at 4, venison's pretty good meat. Way better than wolf. We're going to store that meat outside. I'm going to eat those calories. Now we can move pretty solid. She should pass pretty much back down that hill. We'll just triple check in here real quick that there's nothing. Nope. Oh, come on. There's no way she would have seen me. Oh, well. We got meat enough. We'll start the next one by cooking all that up. Let's go inside, get set up. Actually, let's go sleep in the car. I like sleeping in the car. I wouldn't recommend this unless you've got pretty good gear. Well, you know what? It looks like it still might blizzard. Let's go inside. Not like we're going to get cabin fever, right? We might just go ahead and do the cook real quick. There's more food. There should be a cooking pot. Oh no, we already grabbed it from here. Fudge. Fudge. Starting a fire now wouldn't really be all that good an idea without a second cooking pot. And we left the one over at Timberwolf so that we had one there. Yeah, we'll be fine. Maybe what we'll do is just go straight over to Thompson's, starting the next stream. We know we're going to find a cooking pot and probably a skillet there. There may even be a skillet here, actually. Should be one someplace. And then again, maybe not. But we got enough water and food to get us through at least one more day. So why don't we just put down our bedroll, put out our lantern, we'll sleep, get our save, and then I think we're going to call it for tonight. And then either tomorrow or Saturday we'll come back with more stuff. So let's get this done right here. Sleep as long as it'll let us. Which is probably... Oh, we got an Aurora. Yeah, and that's why I love this region, or this particular POI so much, is it's a 6-burner. There's your blizzard. Yeah, we got enough food to get through a day. I'm not too worried about it. We got our blizzard going on here. We should be okay on water. Plus, we got toilet water here we could take in 2 locations if we need to. I did save the fuel. I turned it off. Didn't I? Yeah. It's about half full. It's about what it was. All right, guys. I think that's going to get it for me tonight. Yeah, we put in a little over 3 hours. But yeah, that was the rest of Timberwolf. And then on the next stream for Long Dark, we're going to be looting PV and getting... Oh, yeah. Well, that's why I kind of want to go to Thompson's and get that second water cooking pot so that we can make, multiple liters of water at the same time. But you know that deal. I'm going to go to this screen real quick. Alrighty, guys. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. Again, that was Timberwolf. I know we move kind of fast, so it's hard to really learn a lot from that, but it's not as nearly as dangerous as what you think it's going to be. It's not great having Timberwolves there for this run, but hey, look, we'll probably go back there and pick up a bunch of that shit we left behind and just leave bare bones stuff there. And I think we'll drag it to here, but we're not going to drag it forward from here because this is going to be our forever home. So, yeah, but we got to get this place looted. That'll be the next stream. Unless we want to do something like As the Dead Sleep or Dark Walker. I don't know. I'll think on it a little bit. I kind of want to get into a variety game just to do something a little bit different. I feel like I've been pushing this one a little hard. I bet, it's great seeing people that want to watch it, and I do want to play it, but I don't want to burn myself out at the same time because I have been guilty of that before. So we'll take it all as it comes to us. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow with something. It could be Long Dark. It could be something else. Check the listing. We'll see what we want to get into. Until next time, guys. Bye.